What's up, guys? It's Rob here, and we have to talk about sundial growers, ticker symbol SNDL, and tilray stock, ticker symbol TLRY, because these stocks are both running up fairly large today, right? Sundial is up about 7.5%, tilray is up 3.5%. Let's take a look at the charts and see what we have going on, because there is some very interesting news that could be driving these things up over the next while if it turns out to be true. So first of all, you can see sundial has been running up massively. We actually broke through the $70 resistance level that we've been struggling with over the past while. If you look at the past couple of days, we had been bumping up on news about CBD products being legalized in California, as well as smokable hemp, and we actually bounced off of the 70 to the downside. However, we've now broken through that, very bullish for sundial. Tilray was actually doing very well, and we're now making we're getting very close to making new highs, right? We're just a couple of cents off. Just need to boost up a little bit more to be making new highs over the short term, and both of these stocks are benefiting from this news that we're about to talk about, where could another acquisition be on the horizon for Tilray? This is a Motley Fool article that was written today and has been pumping these stocks up. At least a lot of people are crediting it. There's actually a couple of news events that came out for sundial that have been pumping it as well. But we're going to break this down and discuss the possibilities of Tilray potentially acquiring sundial, right? That's basically what this article was implying. That they may be considering acquiring sundial. They also mentioned some other cannabis stocks like Aurora Cannabis and Charlotte's Web. However, sundial is probably the most popular of all of those and has thus been getting the most attention. So we're going to have to see what happens with sundial stock if they continue to rally on this news, or if people debunk this and put out some news that no, Tilray isn't really considering this, then maybe sundial will begin to fall. And it will be interesting to see if 70 cents then acts as a support level for us, because if you look back at the past 90 days, you can see, or even the past year, let's look at that, you can see that 70 cents has acted as a key support level for us many times. Right here, we bounced off of 70 and made it all the way up to $1.50, and then here we bounced off of it again, not getting quite as high, but it did stop us from falling further, at least in the short term, until we eventually broke through, and then it started acting more of a resistance. And now we've just recently today broken through 70. We're going to see if this can hold throughout the course of the day, right? It's not guaranteed. Obviously, we've been shot down many times. There have been many fake breakouts for sundial stock. People are really waiting for the big pump up. And until legalization actually comes to the United States, I don't know if that will actually happen. We'll actually get the big pump, but we may start going on an uptrend, because we have been downtrending for the past while, almost the past year. We've been downtrending for. And that has left a lot of bag holders, a lot of people who are buying above $1, a lot of people who are buying above $2 even. And, some of them are still holding shares. I'm still holding my sundial shares, hoping that this thing will appreciate. But we need to talk about the potential for sundial and Tilray to continue shooting up. First of all, there is another piece of news for sundial, another reason why they were moving up a bit today. They just basically lent out $100 million to Jushi Holdings, which is another cannabis company. And sundial has been doing this a lot lately, right? They have a lot of cash on hand, and they've basically been focusing more on investments that they've been making, both in the form of lending and more acquisitions in different companies. And we've talked about those on this channel already, so we won't spend too much time on that. But what's important here is the short data on sundial growers. If you actually look at this on Ortex, you can see that they currently have 17% of their free float being shorted, which doesn't sound like a lot, right? It doesn't sound like a lot, but it's actually 359 million shares. And the days to cover those shares, it would actually take almost 5 days, 4.97 days to be exact, if you're looking at how many days of average volume it would take to cover those sundial shares if shorts wanted to cover those shares. So if we start shooting up in a big way, that could actually cause a miniature short squeeze, which could get sundial's price moving up pretty high for many days in a row. If shorts are really covering and fighting to buy those shares, we could really see a big spike in sundial's price. But to actually cause that short squeeze, we would obviously need to see a large appreciation in sundial's price anyways. And to do that, I like to look at the open interest options activity. Now, there are a bunch of open interest call options for the $1 strike price. There are tons of them at all of these different strike dates. You see 50,000 on October 22nd, 51,000 on October 29th, 29,000 on November 5th, 17 on November 12th, and 59 on November 19th. So there are tons of open interest call options for a $1 strike price, and that could really cause a gamma squeeze situation with sundial. If we do start moving past $1, a lot of institutions who are likely selling those call options and shorting shares of sundial would likely have to start covering their short positions, as well as buying up shares to cover their options contract positions, right? Because they've likely sold these options contracts naked. They probably don't have the sundial shares to back up all of these contracts. And that means that if we actually got these contracts in the money, they would likely have to be buying up shares to cover those positions in case they ended up expiring in the money, which would only serve to appreciate sundial stock price even more, leading to more pressure for a short squeeze situation. Now, obviously, that would be a perfect string of events, and that's what we would like to see. But institutions are not afraid to push this thing down, right? They obviously been pushing us down with short positions. They don't want sundial to rise, and they're not afraid to manipulate it to the downside. So there's a lot to watch out for with sundial stock, right? However, you can see that we are actually expected to make all-time highs on Google Trends, right? Because of this news that there is potentially a sundial tilray merger. A ton of people are searching for this stock on Google Trends, which could actually get us some more momentum, right? If more people are searching for it, more people are likely buying it as well. And you can see that we have been downtrending on Reddit and Wall Street Bets, right? Sundial has not been getting as much mention, as many mentions on what Reddit and Wall Street Bets as they have been in the recent past, just because this big cannabis news did come out for hemp legalization in California just yesterday or 2 days ago. And so a lot of that has been waning, but it's my expectation that on Reddit and Wall Street Bets, people will likely start posting about the new potential for a Tilray Sundial merger, or potentially just posting about Sundial's new loans to Jushi Holdings. So I do think that there is a lot of potential that this thing will continue to run up. Obviously, we don't want to go back below 70, right? 70 cents is a big buying point when a lot of people were purchasing this. Like, very few people have actually purchased it below 70 cents. So very few people are in the money when we're below 70 cents. And we have been on a downtrend for a long time. A lot of people want to see this stock appreciate instead of just continuously dump and dump and dump. And I do think that we've gotten to the point where 70 cents is a fairly good valuation for sundial. I don't think that we're overvalued at 70 cents. I think that, if anything, we're a little bit undervalued considering the current economic environment and the fact that legalization is likely on the horizon sometime in the next year or two. I think that people really aren't pricing that in, especially institutions, right? Retail might be considering that, but institutions, I just don't think that they're considering the fact that legalization is likely to come in the near future, and that will be a massive driver for sundial stock price, as well as Tilray, right? If you look at Tilray, Tilray is undergoing a similar pattern. They have been pumping up over the past couple of days as well, in a big way, and are continuing to pump up on this news. I think that Tilray is also benefiting from the news that they may be purchasing sundial, because that would only make both of those companies stronger. The fact that they would then be combined and able to serve the market as a larger force and have more buying pressure, or buying power, and just a greater ability to have economies of scale. I think that would be a real benefit to both Tilray and sundial if this merger actually went through. Obviously, this isn't actually anything official from Tilray or sundial. It's just the motley fool, someone writing an article about how Tilray may decide to purchase sundial or a merger with them, because they have been known to do that in the past with Afria. And, a lot of people benefited from that merger. Hopefully, a lot of people will benefit from this merger if it actually ends up going through. I am very bullish on sundial over the long term. Obviously, over the short term, we haven't been doing great. But I do think that at any point, there could be a massive inflection in sundial's price that will drive us up and essentially make all the pain that people have been suffering over the past while worth it. I think that once we get past $1, we could just be running for a long ways. So that's what I think about sundial. If you guys enjoyed the video, also Tilray. So if you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel. I oftentimes post about sundial when there's big news. So if you enjoy that kind of stuff, feel free to subscribe and see it. Other than that, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.